Okay, it's saying that we are live, and we're just a couple minutes late, as you can see there. This was a last-minute scheduling of an emergency broadcast, and I just scheduled it less than an hour ago, and I had some things I had to wrap up. And let me see what the audio is sounding like here. Munchkin voice. I'm going to have to restart. Okay, I'm going to restart. Restarting. Okay.
Okay, we're going to try this again. Try this again and see what happens, folks. Because we had the Munchkin voice. All right, that fixed it. That fixed the Munchkin voice. Okay, so this is an official broadcast. Oh, I even forgot to turn on the backlights. Hey, Google, turn on living room lights. There we go. That's more like it. Okay. Anything we can do to spruce things up, spice things up a little bit here. There you go. All right. So I've been seeing a lot of comments in some of the forums lately about some of the sought-after sport model Rolexes, the Pepsis, the Batgirl. By the way, nobody wants the Batman anymore. The oyster bracelet, thumbs down on that. Everybody said, oh, that's going to be a collector's item and all this stuff. No way, folks. Sell the Batman. Get out of the Batman while the getting is good. That watch is thumbs down. Okay, the old movement. The oyster bracelet's ugly on the super case. Looks even uglier with the oyster bracelet. Looks a little bit better with the Jubilee bracelet. I think they softened the lugs. I have heard people say they didn't change the lugs at all. And I've had people definitively said they trimmed the lugs in a little bit. It looks like to me from the photos, I haven't seen one in person. It looks like to me they brought the lugs in just a hair, and also the Jubilee bracelet makes it look better. But anyway, I digress. The Pepsi, the Batgirl, the Daytona, all of these sought-after steel models, there are signs of weakness in the market. And not the least of which, and I never go by strictly hearsay and things you hear in the forums and all that, because you never know if any of that's accurate. But here's the thing. Just the fact that a collector, a gentleman that has several of these Rolexes, who Steve knows personally at Little Treasury, who Steve has sold Grand Seikos to. This guy's a collector. This guy has a number of watches. High net worth individual. The fact that he is selling some of these sought-after pieces, for example, the Pepsi that he sold to Steve a week or so ago, that you've seen here on the channel, the fact that he's wholesaling that watch, and Steve is able to sell it under the most of the asking prices on Chrono 24 and all of those, he's going to undercut them on the price to move the watch. Just the fact that happened tells me something. And then the fact that Steve hasn't sold it yet, and he's called a bunch of his VIP clients, people that said they want these watches and so on and so forth, and just the fact that he hasn't even sold it yet and he's cutting the price tells me that the market is softening. The real, actual market. I'm not talking about asking prices, I'm talking about the real market that these things are selling for. I'm telling you, folks, if you're stuck, if you're in some of these watches, if you've got 4 or 5 of these, sought-after Rolex steel sport watches, you better sell them, and you better get out while the getting is good. Because when everybody starts realizing that the bottom's falling out of this market and all these speculators start selling at the same time, we know what happens to a market in that kind of a situation. It crashes, folks. It crashes. And I think we're not too far from that. I don't even think we need a recession. People are saying, well, when we get the recession, that's when the whole bottom will drop out. And of course it would then. Yeah, because everybody sells the luxury items first, right? When you're hurting, you get rid of things you don't need, right? And that's why people that say that Bitcoin, that everybody's going to go into Bitcoin, I think it's the opposite. I think if we go into a recession, I think a lot of people will be selling Bitcoin. I think it will be a good time to buy Bitcoin, just like it'll be a good time to buy anything. If you have cash on the sidelines, plenty of cash, you'll be able to buy stocks, you'll be able to buy real estate, you'll be able to buy steel Rolexes, you'll be able to buy all these things cheap because all of it will crash. I think that's what's going to happen if we have a major economic meltdown. But even prior to that meltdown, I think you're going to see these prices in these Rolex watches. I think we're looking for a big adjustment. Okay, so let's get into the comments here, and then I got some other things to talk about that are very, very important topics as well. YouTube is making me strange things since I installed. Okay, sometimes lose live conversation. Uh-oh. And by the way, when I booted up the Video Pro, they wanted me to install a firmware update. I certainly didn't want to do that because that can take forever and might even brick the unit. RWAGS was in the house. GS was running fast. There you go. Let's see here. That was back at the beginning there. So I'm just getting caught up here. I just picked up an Oceanus S5000. What are the thoughts on the Oceanus lines? Folks, put some comments in there. What do you guys think? I don't have any experience with those, but put some comments in the chat. Let's see. Is that the Grand Seiko of Casio? Here we go. Oh, I should have focused this. Let me see how this is focused. I don't remember. I'm going to have to focus the close-up camera. Hold on just a second here. Bear with me. Time check. All right. Let's see here. I focused this one so I can get kind of close there. You want to see a stunner. You want to see a stunner in action. And don't worry about all the sunspots on my arm and all that stuff. When you guys get old, you get to be my age, you're going to have all that kind of stuff going on too. Trust me. Especially if you're out in the sun much. But there you go. I think it looks stunning. Absolutely stunning. Stunning watch there. Shift back over this way here a little bit. I've got to reposition that camera so it's a little more convenient. Okay. So there's a stunner and there's another stunner. Stunner times 2. And here's the funny thing about it. I bought these two watches. You add together the prices and I paid less than what somebody would pay for a no date sub. Okay, I've got about $8,000 in both watches combined. And that's, you would pay more than that for a no date sub. And I'll be able to wear these things for decades, without having them serviced. They're going to perform flawlessly. They are gorgeous. And I think this puppy here absolutely trumps the sub in a lot of ways. And I've already done a video about that. So this one by itself is a major contender. And then you add the ability to rotate this puppy in as a dress watch. It's thinner than a no-date sub, a little bit smaller, 39 versus 40 mils. It's got a bigger dial because the bezel's not as big. So a lot of advantages there for a dress watch. Okay, so I digress again. Let's see here what we got. Hi, Craig. Kind of deaf right now. It's Air Show week in San Diego, and the Blue Angels are in town. Uh-oh. There you go. They're cool. Hey, Google, stop being evil. Yeah. Any of these big companies, they're all beholden to their stockholders, so they got to be evil to make money. We're going to talk about making money, too, because somebody put a comment on one of my videos about, I was talking about the Grand Seikos, just like I just did. They asked me, said, how much is Grand Seiko paying you? I told him, I said, can you put in a good word for me? Maybe they'll send me a check. I said, so far I haven't gotten any checks yet. I said, I've been talking about these watches for almost 2 years now. And if the checks are in the mail, they're still in the mail. I haven't seen them yet. So I said, maybe you can put in a good word and get me a check. Okay, so there's that. By the way, it's humid here today. It's not real cool either. It's a little bit on the warm side here today, but I'm too cheap to turn on the air conditioning. I can tell you that right now, and that's not going to happen. Oyster Batman, excuse me, is for gay dog trainers. Okay, I don't think the dog man is gay, is he? Is he a little bit light in the loafers? It's possible. I don't think so, but anyway. He's not real bright. I mean, he does make some purchase decisions that aren't real wise, and he gives some advice sometimes that isn't very wise. But I'm sure he's a good guy. Everybody has their flaws. Everybody can't be perfect. Like Paul Pluta, right? They can't have that perfection in everybody. Let's see. Mark wanted you to go on his show yesterday. He wanted BUWSUR to go on the show. There you go. Let's see. If you plan on keeping them, it doesn't matter. Do you have to download and learn StreamYard for... Do you have to download and learn StreamYard for that? Well, if you're going to go in using that program, then you would need that. Yes, if you're going to join his show using that program, I think you would need that. Is Bitcoin going to keep dropping? That is a good question. Nobody knows. Anybody that acts like they know. I said the other day that I thought there was a good chance it was going to pull down to $7,000. And I talked to a couple of people about that. And I mentioned it on a show not too long ago. And we got close to there. We got around 7,500 or something. Let's see what this... Yeah, I think 7,700 I think we got down to. I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if we have another major pullback before we start another leg up. That wouldn't surprise me in the least. I don't think you're going to see like a $4,000 number again, but if you did, all coiners out there that don't have any coins, this is your chance. These kind of dips, these big dips is the time to do it if you're a no coiner. Not financial advice here. Not financial advice. But I'll tell you what, if I was a no coiner, I would be loading up on some coins. I wouldn't want to miss this train. But then again, I'm a long-term thinker. So I'm planning for the long term. Let's see. Do you like the Blaupin Bath Escape 38 mil or 43? 10.7 mil thick with 300 millimeter water resistance. 10.7 mils. Well, that's a good thing. It's absolutely a good thing. But I'm just not... I personally, I'm an old curmudgeon. I'm not going to stray from the Rolex, Grand Seiko, Omega, and maybe if I wanted something fancy dress watch, maybe a Patek, Vacheron, something like that. But I don't think I would go that direction either. I'm just very conservative about buying these other brands, any of them. I just don't really see a need. To me, there's something in those names I just mentioned for anybody. And if you can't find something in one of those names that floats your boat, then I don't know what to tell you. And I think that those brands, you can get them serviced anywhere. Grand Seiko, you're probably not going to have it serviced if you buy a spring drive or you buy a 9F. I mean, this is a permanent watch, right? You're not going to have to fool with it. So it's a non-issue anyway. So, yeah. And not just because I'm wearing Grand Seikos right this moment, but really, I would just go Grand Seiko. Right now, in this snapshot in time, I think Grand Seiko is the best bang for the buck for a really high-quality watch. I think Rolex is just way overpriced for what you get. So I would just go... Normally, I would look towards Omega, right? But I think Grand Seiko is a better move right now. I think they've got enough really cool pieces. Not every piece they have, but they've got enough that they've got almost anything for just about anybody. Let's see. I never have bought a watch as an investment. See, here's the thing. A lot of these people talk about that they don't buy the watch as investments. But then every other comment in the forums is, oh, well, that doesn't hold its value. You can't have it both ways. I mean, if you're looking at the value of your watch and whether or not it holds its value, that implies that you're thinking of it as a store value / investment type of vehicle. You're looking at it from a standpoint of how much is it worth? What's the value in it? That's how you would look at real estate. That's how you would look at gold. That's how you would look at anything that you've kind of invested money in. And one guy put a comment. He said, yeah, and I get 6% return on my Submariner. I get a 6% return every year on my Submariner. But first of all, I'd like to know what Submariner that is that gives that kind of return. And second of all, I responded to him that I want more than 6% on my investments. I want at least 10%, or I'm pissed off. I'm firing a financial advisor if I'm not getting 10% on my investments. I want 10%. You're going to lose 2 or 3% to inflation, right? I want 10%. I want a nice gain. And so, but he said he was getting 6% per year on his watch. I don't think he knows how to do math. And I don't think he knows how to compound that properly. And just because you buy a watch under market, and we talked about this the other day, if a watch is selling for, let's take a Pepsi, for example. Let's say it's selling on the open market for $3,000 over list. Okay, let's go with that assumption. So round numbers, let's say it's $10,000 new, and you can sell it for $13,000. So you buy it for $10,000, right? The reason that you have a $3,000 profit there is because you've bought it under market. It's not because it has appreciated since you bought it. It didn't appreciate. You just bought it under market. Now, if you bought it for let's say you bought it for market for $13,000, and then a year later it's worth 6% more, and then a year later it's worth another 6% more, compounded on top. Remember compounding. And every year you get 6% growth on that, then yes, that's giving you that kind of a return. And historically and typically, most watches, 99% of them don't give that kind of return. And I'm talking 99% of Rolexes don't give that kind of return. Even if you run the math on a, and we've done this on some previous shows, even if you run the math on like a red sub from years ago, what you would have bought it for and then what it's worth now. Yes, it's gone up quite a bit in value, but it hasn't gone up 10% a year compound interest. Remember, 10%, the value doubles every 7 years. So 21 years ago, it would double 3 times, right? So there you go. The problem is these people aren't doing correct math. I blame that on the public school systems. Wore my SBGH255 all of last weekend. Big, awesome watch. Love it. There you go. It's a bad investment. Buy stocks, bonds, or something. There you go. And be a long-term thinker, because stocks, and they can go up and down too, right? All these things can go up and down. Be a long-term thinker. Bet on the horse that's going to be a good long-term bet, I think, is a good move on that. Crown and Caliber have 13 Hulks for sale. Yeah, I saw that posting. Cheetown says, I'm rocking my $10 Casio digital watch that Archie spent 10 minutes insulting. Runs 0.7 plus seconds per month. There you go. Well, this one's beating that out. This one's like 1 second after like 5 months. So there you go. Grand Seiko style, and no battery, no capacitor. Awesome sauce. So let's see here. Craig has no gaydar. Okay. So you think he's light in the loafers, do you? You think he's light in the loafers. That's possible. By the way, I do have to admit, I'm double checking something here real quick. I do have to admit that one of the reasons why I was late to the show is I was talking to a attractive female prior to the show starting. So that can distract me. and can delay things here on the channel. It is possible that would delay things here on the channel. That was one of the reasons. There were a couple of reasons. So anyway, here we go. Grand Seiko quality, design, and build are unquestionably world-class, but how do you think they position the brand to increase awareness and grow sales? I don't think they're going to do that. And I don't think they're capable of growing sales that much. Steve is already having troubles getting some of the models, and I think that they're about at their capacity as far as production. Hopefully they're not going to add any more dealers here in the U.S. or in the other markets, because they could spread themselves too thin. Remember, there's a lot of hand work, a lot of watchmaker work in these watches, a lot of labor, a lot of hand labor, more than Rolexes. And don't go by that PR video that Hodinkee put out a while back that, touted all the handwork and everything in Rolex. Don't buy into all that, because they're basically a machine-made watch. But in any event, there's a lot more handwork in the Grand Seiko. And so it's very hard for them to scale the production of that watch. They can only get so many apprentices coming in to be able to do it. So I don't think you're going to see them scale. In other words, they don't really have to increase awareness and grow sales, because they're kind of where they need to be. And I think they're kind of fat and happy with where they're positioned right now. I think they're just going to continue to go a little more upscale, have some of these upscale high dollar units, but I don't think they're going to go mass production like Rolex. I just don't think you're going to see it. Let's see, I just passed on a brand new no-date sub at my local AD because I'm sick of all of Rolex's stupid games. So that would have been a list price, no-date sub. So Patrick, you don't think you could have grabbed that and maybe flipped it for a $1,000 profit? I mean, I see no harm in that. If people are willing to pay over list, I have nothing against these gray market folks that are flipping these watches. More power to them. If they can find a sucker to pay over list for one of these watches, and especially like several $1,000s over list, do it. But know that, they're taking a risk too. They could get stuck with that watch. And if they have several of them, they could end up stuck with several watches that they just can't sell. So they are taking a risk. Let's see. I buy a watch for the love of the watch, the movement, the quality, attention to detail. Should never think of a watch and invest in it. It's a hobby. I agree with you. And I buy mine to wear and use. I'm not a collector. I don't collect. But I get collecting. I mean, and I did say at one time on one of my shows that I really didn't get the collecting thing. But no, I kind of get the collecting thing. I get people wanting to have some cool things around and rotate and wear a different watch, and and if you've got the financial wherewithal to do that without it affecting your life in any way, shape, in any meaningful way, shape, or form, then more power to you. I mean, there's a lot of hobbies that are more expensive and more destructive financially than collecting some watches. For example, a boat. A boat, hole in the water where you put money. Let's see here. I told Mark about your offer to go on your show, and he had less than flattering comments about you. Oh yeah, Mark's not going to want to come on this show. No, that's not going to happen. No. So let's see. I wear my Seiko Shogun to the office. You have no idea how many people confuse it with the Rolex sub. Shogun is a fantastic watch. I mean, I wore mine for 2 years. Let's see. CL Malcolm, I bought some today seeing that dip. You bought some Bitcoin? At what price did you buy? Let us know in the chat. What price did you buy? Let's see. You got a 44 millimeter GMT. What's that? Are you talking about a Grand Seiko? Thoughts on FP Jorn? I think they've got some nice stuff, but again, I wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't go that direction. But I've seen some gorgeous watches. They also put out some ugly stuff too. Some watches that look like they were hit with the ugly stick. Speaking of a good-looking watch, we showed this one the other day. I really like this watch. I think this is kind of cool. And this is
Master Moon, a watch that debuted in the 1990s and was
go
produced
watch Tim's
right
video
until
on
about
it. I just like
2005. It's
that
a watch
bracelet.
that fits perfectly on any wrist.
Nice and trim on the wrist.
And stainless steel with a triple
That would be a
calendar
cool
and a moon
dress
face
watch.
is a recipe
I
for
think.
timeless appeal.
Let me know what you think
the
in the
watch
chat
is
about
featured
that little
is
puppy.
in a rare configuration
Stop
on the
this from
factory.
playing. And by the way, this show is brought to you by Bree Fit Dance. Bree Fit Dance. You guys want to see the jump video? Let me know in the chat if you want to see the jump video. If you want to see Brianna, the lovely Brianna, do her jump video, let me know in the chat. If you say yes, and you can just type a Y for yes, and we'll show the Bree Fit Dance jump video because we want to get some subscribers to her channel. I put the link in the description of the video to her channel. If you go to BreeFitDance.com, BreeFitDance.com, it goes straight to her YouTube channel. We need to get her some subscribers because we're going to be putting some original content on there. We're going to be shooting some content this weekend, so we want to get some subscribers built up. Let's see here. I personally would rock an Audemars Piguet. Spend 1 week wearing it on your wrist and 1 month waiting for it to come back from getting fixed again. Oh my gosh. I'm thinking about buying a glass shoot original. I think Steve has those. You should come to the watch event. And of course, he's an Omega dealer, so he also has the Omega. You should come to Steve's watch event at Little Treasure Jewelers. By the way, he's at Omega training today. So there's that. I heard someone say they wouldn't buy a $1,500 watch because they didn't want to lose a couple of $100 reselling it. Working with far too close margins here, folks. Oh, jeez. My Bulova has gained 4 seconds in 7 months. Andrew in the house, straightening people out. Let's see. When buying a Rolex, how much per dollar are you spending on the brand name? How much on what actually goes into the watch? Well, you're spending a lot on their marketing and promotion. I mean, gosh, you see their ads everywhere in these like tennis matches and all this stuff. I mean, that costs big bucks. Absolutely, the buyers of the watches are paying for all of that. But that's what they want. They want the prestige of that name. So, it probably costs them $500 or $600 to make the watch, right? $1,000, for a steel watch. I mean, at the most, I would think. So, yeah. So if it's $1,000, then, yeah, you're spending $8,000 on the marketing and the branding and the profit. They make a profit when they sell it to the AD. The AD makes a profit when he sells it to you. I mean, you're paying for all of that. So there you go. And with luxury items, it's always a higher percentage for all of that than other items, right? Because they're working on heavier markups. Bigger markup. Let's see here. Boeing. Okay, somebody bought Boeing. Okay. How much did the market fall today? It's closed. Let's see what happened with the market today. Not too bad. 0.58% on the NASDAQ. Apple took a 0.52 hit, my Apple stock. So not too bad. So, okay, let me get caught back up here. Went into a random Wimpy store in Germany yesterday, and the lady pulled an Explorer 1 out of the box for €5,900 listing price. Who knows what else they have in there for their regular customers. Well, there you go. An Explorer 1 would be a good move. And we've talked about that on this channel a lot. Explorer 1 would be a good move. Why do you think of what do you think of the Michael Burry opinion about how the index funds are screwing the market with their no-brain strategy? I don't know. I mean, the market in general just keeps going up. I mean, we've had this bull market for so long. I just don't know when it's going to correct. I mean, and people are saying it's just going to keep going up for quite some time. I don't think anybody really knows, and that's the thing. But I'm going to be tempted to take a lot more. I've got cash off the table right now. I've got some cash set aside to buy a big dip. So I might take some more off the table here in preparation for a major pullback. The last time I did it, it was like 8 months. When we had the big correction back, and I did it twice. When we had the .com correction, I think I took the money off the table around 2001 or something, and then the big correction hit, and about 8 months later, and then 2008, there was a big correction. I usually miss the call by at least 8 months to a year. I try to pull out early, and then I just wait it out and wait for the big crash, right? So, yeah, I'm thinking about pulling out some money here pretty soon. Not financial advice. Yeah, that Omega with the 8800 is beautiful. That's the Meta certified watch, long power reserve 2. People are pissed it has a see-through case back, but the movement is so beautiful to look at. There you go. I like this. The only thing I have with some of the Omegas is some of them are a little bit on the thick side for what you're getting, I think. But need a wrapper or celeb to promote jewelry these days. Watches are not investments, period. They are trinkets. There you go. Wags, what do you think? There you go. Wags, 10% per year equals 7.2 years to double. Rule of 72. 9% equals 8 years. 8% equals 9 years, etc. There you go. That's right. And we're going to go for the 10. We want the just over 10% so we can double every 7 years. That's what we're trying to do. Craig, are you a fan of watches with complications? Well, I just showed you one that I said I thought was kind of cool, but generally not. Now, of course, I've got the GMT complication on that, which is nice in that if I do travel amongst time zones, I can move that hour hand independently. I do like that functionality. I do like that functionality on a GMT2. Remember when I went from my GMT to my GMT2, I gained that functionality of being able to move that hour hand, and I do like that. And I don't mind having a date on the watch, but these days, since my eyes are kind of tired, I could take or leave a date. But as far as a really complicated watch, this one I just showed is pretty cool. Pretty cool.
JLC stainless steel bead
See how
surprise
trim that
bracelet.
is?
Now I own this exact reference, albeit on a
I
strap.
think that's
and I have
pretty
to say
cool
that it has an
watch.
entirely
I
different
don't know what he's
fit,
asking
feel,
for it.
and
I didn't
presence.
click through to his website to see what he was asking for it. Let's see. Unlike Rolex, GS can't just turn up production at will and make tons more watches to meet demand. That's correct. They absolutely can't. What's hot? Miami, Cubans, AP, Patek, Rolex. Okay. Watches are not investments, period. They're trinkets. I already read that. I'm sorry. Panama is always hot. You're correct, RE, a boat. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm going to go out on Paul, my buddy's boat. He keeps out in Annapolis. Nice boat, right? When I go out with somebody on a boat like that, I tell them, I say, listen, make sure that you need plenty of fuel because I'm going to fill up your tanks. I don't care if the tank holds 500 gallons. I'll fill the puppy up, right? It's still a lot cheaper than me owning a boat. I'm still coming out ahead. So there you go. Mark would gladly do a show with Craig if it got him more trolling super chats. There you go. Yeah, I noticed he mentioned on one of Archie's shows that he's bottom feeding, that he's trying to do some begging shows to get money. Oh, okay, fine. I mean, if these guys want to do that, I mean, more power to them. I bet Mark is hearing this. No, I don't think he watches these shows. I don't think he cares. Let's see. I believe that is correct. Indexing as well as programmed trading has made the market more volatile and irrational in the short term. Longer term, rational thinking comes back. Well, there we go. Some pearls of wisdom from our wags. Don't go getting any copyright strikes. Well, you play a little short piece of something like that. That's a non-issue. You're not going to get a strike for that, I don't think. Wags, it makes sense. It's just dumb money going into the market without taking value in consideration, but the consequences could be very dangerous. I don't know that they're that dangerous. I think when we have a major adjustment, we're going to have that no matter what people do. I think it's on the way. I think it's coming. F. Pigeon, Elegant Quartz has a 18-year power reserve, Craig. 18-year power reserve. If unworn, it goes into sleep mode, but goes back to the correct time when worn again. Wow. Yeah, but it can't have a battery that lasts 18 years. How's it powered? I don't know of a battery in a watch that lasts 18 years, but anyway. I'm probably not going to last another 18 years, so it's probably not a big deal. Let's see. They sell first and ask questions why later. Okay, so our WAG, so what's your take on the Bitcoin correction? How much further do you think we're going to go down? We lost a lot of support. Do you think we're going to go down to $4,000? Do you think we're going to go down to $2,500? Do you think, like Carlos, it's just going to go to zero? It's just the whole thing's just going to go away and we're going to be sitting back and we're going to say that was really something and it's all over with now. It's Bitcoin's at zero. What do you think? What do you think is going to happen? It's exciting times. And I don't think anybody really knows, to tell you the truth. What is the Bulova Precisionist Quartz watch? Okay, there you go. There's something that messes with my head about paying exorbitant sums of money to subsidize a corporation advertising to other people. Okay. Guess what, fellas? Someone just added an SBGA 229 to the collection. Spring Drive, baby. Who? Dur, did you get one? Why would you get the SBGA 229? That's the stainless steel. Why wouldn't you get the 231? What is going on here, folks? No. I would have bought the 231. I did buy the 231. Okay. Well, Dur, let me know if you want to call in. Skype into the show and show us your watch. Why don't any of you guys want to Skype in anymore? Maybe Carlos will Skype in and show us his watch. We had a 20% correction last year. Let's see. Thought you were in love with the Apple Watch, though. I'll tell you, the Apple Watch is fantastic. It really is. I wore mine for a couple of years. It's pretty. Oh, I got to show you we talked in the chat about the Link bracelet. I got to go get that and show you the Link bracelet again. Dur, hang in there. As far as I know, I think Dur has the stainless steel Apple Watch. Now look at that. Look how trim that bracelet is. Look how trim the clasp is. You talk about a trim clasp. It's the same thickness as the band, the bracelet. And this is very comfortable on wrist. I was really impressed with the comfort on wrist, even though it doesn't have much sideways flex at all. Let me go ahead and put it on. Now this is a Series 1, but it would fit on any Apple Watch. See that? And I mean, it is extremely comfortable. It's every bit as comfortable as my titanium 231 I just took off wrist. Start it up here. Oh, come on. Okay, so see, that's what I don't like. I don't like it going off all the time like that, turning off. But to keep it turned like that, it stays on, right? And now they have always on, but it dims. I don't like that either. I'd rather it be full brightness, but I guess they just can't do it with the battery. But look at that. That is, I think it's classy looking and super comfortable. So I would pick up one of these link bracelets. You can pick them up on eBay. Be careful to try to get an actual Apple one. You can find them for around $100, $120, somewhere in that price range. An actual Apple one. Try to get one from a trusted seller. That's a real Apple one. And I'd pick one up and try it. That is a recommendation. Okay, take this puppy off. All right. Set that down over there and put this puppy back on. Because this is the real deal here, this show. I'm calling. Okay, he's going to call. Let me get the Skype up. Give me a second. Okay, Skype. Okay. All right, so go ahead and call us anytime. Call us anytime, and I'll put the headset on when you call because it's not comfortable. Let's see. I like the weight of the stainless. Titanium is too light for me. I'm going to Red Bar event tonight with Seiko, getting ready for it now. I'll tell you what, though. Did you try on the 231? You should have tried it. It's fantastic. Are you tempted to buy the Pepsi that Steve has? Is he asking me? I would never pay over list. That's not going to happen. Different people, different tastes, Craig. I'm sure the Seiko is a banger. Yeah, people have different taste, but my taste is correct. See what I'm wearing? See how gorgeous it is? See, I'm correct. Some people are wrong. Like, for example, the people that put nose rings, the people that shave their eyebrows, the people that... Let me answer this call in. Okay, Carlos is in the house. Turn on your camera, Carlos. You don't have your camera on. There we go.
Hello, Craig.
All right. Carlos in the house. Long time no see.
Yeah.
How have you been getting along?
Yeah, nothing special. A bit of work here, and yeah, but nothing special.
I've been watching.
Really.
I subscribe to a channel of a couple that they've been traveling around in their van all over the place, and they're down in Panama right now looking at some land near a volcano. And they're thinking about starting a tiny home compound. It's like 6 acres or something that they're going to get or whatever, and they're going to have like several tiny homes, and they're going to have a tiny home for people that want to come and visit. And they're like modern day hippies, you know. They were living out of this van. Very attractive couple, and especially the I guess they're married. I don't know if they're married or not. Anyway, the female is stunning, and so that's why they have so many subscribers on their YouTube channel. But they're going to do the property they're looking at has no water, so they're going to do rainwater collection. Because it's too expensive to drill a well. And so they're going to do rainwater collection for their water, for their H2O. They're going to do solar panels for their power. They're going to be totally off grid. If I think about it, I'll send you the link to their thing. It's kind of funny. But they're going through this whole rigmarole of looking at property. They found a piece of property. They're pretty close to a deal, and they're blogging about the whole thing.
That area is very, very nice. In fact, it's one of the nicest area of Panama. Also, the land is higher. Then the weather is not so warm as
that's what they
Panama
said.
City.
Yeah, that's what they said. That the weather it's like 70 or 80 degrees and nice a lot of days.
Yes, it's an area where also a lot of coffee is grown. There is a lot of agriculture. It's a really nice area. I used to go to that area like twice a year or something like that. It's very close to Costa Rica. Very, very close.
Now, does it still get a lot of rain?
Yes, but I assume that they should have problems being on the dry season because here usually I don't know there, but probably they have more rain there as it's higher,
Mhm.
is higher, and they have more clouds from the Caribbean.
Yeah,
But here is very common from basically from January to April to not having any rain.
that's what it
Any
is. That's what it's like in Florida. Yeah, where I used
Yeah,
to go in Sarasota from like November to early April, there was very little rain. And so,
yeah.
yeah, I'm with you. Okay, so let's talk watches. What are you wearing?
And the date. I am
Oh
going
my
for.
goodness. Oh my goodness. Here we go, folks. Now this is live television, and I can see somebody putting something in the comment. Oh, well, that's not really real. He wasn't really showing a day date. You know how these trolls are. But there you go. That's a day date right there. That's a day date 40 in white gold, and it's real, folks. And that is absolutely stunning, stunning. And of course, he has a good sized wrist, so he can sport that size watch. I would
Mhm.
recommend the 40 on a wrist 7 inches or bigger. I think if you
Yeah,
have a wrist 7 inches or smaller, I would go with the 36 personally. But you have a
yeah,
big,
but
big wrist.
yeah. But you're right. I've heard you telling that, and it's something that somebody has to consider because I have the feeling, well, the feeling no is the fact
Hmm.
that the weight of gold is much bigger than the stainless steel,
Oh, absolutely.
and yeah, and it's something really to consider. I agree with you. I think I have 7.5 inches,
Hmm.
and I think that is fine, but really you feel the weight, yeah,
Hmm.
of the watch is something really noticeable, the
Yeah, and
difference.
you should, yeah, absolutely, and you really should try one on, and not just for a minute or two at the AD. Make sure the AD lets you wear it, for a while there in the store, and really feel comfortable with it because it's a big decision. And if you go back down to a 36 mil, it's still a gorgeous watch. The 36
Yeah,
mil has always been a gorgeous watch. And yeah,
yeah,
that hasn't changed. So if you can read it, if your eyes can handle the smaller dial and you like the comfort of it, then go for the 36. If you like the comfort of the 40 and you have a good sized wrist, I mean, either way, it's a stunner, and either way, it trumps any steel Rolex. I mean, I don't care what anybody says. All these steel Rolex lovers, that watch that's on the screen right now, that trumps all of them. Period. Full stop. Done deal. I mean, it's not even a close call, folks. And so
and,
that's a day
mhm.
date 40.
And another thing that happens is that the fit, as it doesn't have, let's say, the fine fitting feature.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is to if someone is very picky about the fitting of the watch,
Mm-hmm.
it's something that is quite difficult because the only way to do it is to replace some of the links
Yeah.
for links that are 25% bigger.
Yeah.
Then is something, in fact, it was something that I was considering doing the
Mm-hmm.
last time that I was in Madrid, and in fact on
Yeah,
the
I
service
remember we
center
talked
they,
about it.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but what I noticed is that now I have some lag on it,
Mm-hmm.
but I think that is good enough.
Yep. Yep.
I can put like a finger a bit
Yep.
snag,
Yep.
but I noticed, for example, going to Madrid after the long flight, and also I think because the heat of Madrid,
Mm-hmm.
and because Madrid is higher than Panama,
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that in Spain, specifically Madrid, my wrist expanded.
Okay.
Then I noticed that if I would have it tighter, I will not be comfortable in Madrid. And
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what you have to do with those watches is you have to
yeah,
size them for your wrist when it's expanded. And
Yeah.
that means when your wrist is contracted, when you're in cooler air conditioning or something like that, it's going to fit a little bit loose. But that's the
Yeah.
trade-off. But I'll tell you one thing, from having worn the 36 mil day dates for many, many years, they are easier to size
Hmm.
because you have more links because the watch is smaller, and the links are smaller. Okay.
Hmm.
And so when you take a link out or add a link, it's a finer adjustment than it is on a date 840. And not by a lot, but by enough to make a difference. So that's another reason why, if somebody has a sizing issue, you might want to take a closer look at a date 836 because it might solve the problem. Mine was very, very comfortable. All I would do every year is I would add a link in the spring and take a link out in the fall, because of the
Yeah.
summer weather. And other than that, it would fit fine. I had no fit issues at all with the watch. So everybody's going to be different. You really need to try the watch and think about all these things, because all these watches, every single one of them are trade-offs. There's all trade-offs. There is no perfect watch. We've talked about that on the channel many times. There's no perfect watch. There's no watch that does everything right. But you just got to get the best that you can get, the closest to what you want that will get the job done. And don't expect perfection, because you're not going to find it. All these watches. So there you go. Well, that's
Yeah.
fantastic. What else are you going to show us?
Nothing special.
Okay.
As I was telling the last day, I am very happy with the Calatrava, but I think that I had it for 3 months or something
Mm-hmm.
like that, and I think that I've only wore it like 4 times. But I am happy with making that swap for the Daytona, and it's something that I like from time to time to wear. Anyway,
And
it's.
Cheetown asks, does Madrid have a dry season like California?
Uh, Well, the weather in Madrid is very different. I would say that is the thing is the first thing that happens is Madrid is around 700 meters high,
Mm-hmm.
and the weather really, I know well the place where Seatown is,
Mm-hmm.
as my son is studying in San Diego, and I used to go to California
Mm-hmm.
usually at least twice or three
Mm-hmm.
times per year.
Yep.
The weather in Madrid is much more extreme.
Okay.
In winter, you can have really like up to 5, 10 degrees below zero
Mm-hmm.
sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
and in summer you can have up to 40 degrees in summer, and it's quite dry. Sometimes there are problems with pollution, and the traffic is restricted because that. But it's maybe it's I would say in US. I I cannot think on a specific city because I
Mm-hmm.
think that mix of being high and and that extreme differences between both times of the year,
Mm-hmm.
maybe not. I don't know. Denver could be something like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sure.
Thinking on.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so somebody asked how many grams your date 8 weighs. Do you happen to know the weight of it?
Yes, in fact, I think that I should have a wait here.
And Cheetown says, give me a date 840 over a Nautilus or Royal Oak any day of the week. Absolutely. That's not even a close call. I mean, they're not even in the ballpark with a date 840. I mean, the date 840 just blows them away. It's stunning. I mean, and don't give me this, oh, people have different taste and all this stuff. A date 840 is 10 times more gorgeous than either one of those concoctions. Here we go. He's
Uh,
actually going to weigh it for you live on television here, folks. There you
This
go.
one has one extra link. That is
Okay.
also something to consider. That I
All right.
had to purchase one extra link because
Okay. So
it was too
what are
tight.
we reading here? I can't really read it easily
Uh,
on the thing. Okay. So
that is a
200,
gray.
212 grams.
Yeah.
Okay. 212. There you go, folks.
And
I like Carlos. He just takes it off and plops it on there. You know, he's not worried about scratches or any of that kind of stuff. He just wears his watch. Now, talk to me about that.
I take care.
Talk to
I
me,
take care of
but
it.
talk to me talk to me about that. You've been wearing the watch. You don't baby it. You go out and you wear it. You said you've taken it in hot tubs and you've taken it to the beach and all this, right? You've taken it on boats, right?
Well, if I go to a boat to do fishing or something like that, I don't used to
But
wear
no,
this.
but
And
you have taken it on a boat, right? That watch.
uh,
Have you
I
taken it
used
to the beach? Has it gone to the beach?
not bueno, not to the beach, to the pool a lot of
Okay, it's
times.
gone to
I
the
usually,
pool.
if I go to the beach or to a boat, I used to wear the
Okay,
explorers very
okay.
nice.
So it's gone to the beach. I mean, it's gone to the pool. It's gone to the hot tub, correct?
Yes, yes,
Okay, it's gone to the
yes.
hot tub. It's been worn
But
around. I mean, it's you worn the watch.
yeah,
How's it holding up? Is that gold like butter, like some of these no watch guys say? You know, these guys that don't actually own a real watch like this, they say, oh, the gold is like butter. You know, it just scratches when you look at it and all this stuff. That's poppycock, isn't it?
I really cannot say. My sight is not very good, and
It's
I
not.
didn't
It's
use a
well. I can tell you right
magnifier.
now. We're looking at the watch right now. It looks gorgeous, and they hold up great, folks. These watches hold up great for heavy, everyday use. Don't listen to these people that have never owned one, never worn one, have no clue. Carlos is wearing one on his wrist right now, and I'm telling you, I wore them for 40 years, and I'm telling you right now, they hold up fine. That could be your only watch if you wanted it to be. It really could. That's how durable those watches are, especially that one now that it has the ceramic sleeves and the bracelet, so it's not going to stretch. That's a heavy use watch. Let's see here. Let's see what other comments we have. Very
I will
nice
not
watch. I
choose it.
like the day date, but I don't wear dress watches every day. I personally would buy an Explorer 2 Polar. Well, see this. That's the beauty of the day date is it's not really a dress watch. It's an all arounder. It's a sport
No, I wear.
watch. It's a
Yeah, I wear
heavy.
this.
It's a heavy duty, heavy use. You know, screw down crown, waterproof. You know, shock resistant. You know, it's got all the attributes of any heavy use watch. It's just more elegant, and it just is a great all arounder. So, especially in the white gold, you know, you can wear it for any purpose because it's a little more under the radar. So somebody says, I'm not a big fan of the day-date complication, but that's a personal choice. Well, yeah, okay, it sure is, but you'd be wrong. That day-date complication looks gorgeous. And if you buy a Rolex to make money, somebody says, okay, that's not a good idea. Carlos, does your son study at UC San Diego, San Diego State University, or University of San Diego?
University of San Diego.
Well, there you go. Yellow gold is more attractive. See, I would go with yellow gold, but Carlos wanted to be a little bit under the radar, which I understand. I wholeheartedly understand, and that's still a gorgeous watch either way. It really is.
Yes,
Um,
regarding that kind of about formal wear, I can say that I most of the times I wear very casual with short sleeve with this kind of shirt that I am wearing now
uh-huh.
most of the time. Excuse
Yeah.
me. That is a kind of the typical Columbia
Yeah.
fishing shirt
Sure,
that
sure, sure.
for Panama weather
Exactly.
is is something
Yeah.
appropriate.
All right, so somebody asked a question. What does Carlos think of all the infighting in the watch community? Okay, what do you think about that? And
uh, I, I really don't understand. I think that people probably need content to their shows.
mhm.
Uh, I I think that I enjoy most of the channels
Yeah,
and
a lot of the people are decent about things. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
there's some trolls, but a lot of the people are good. All right, so let's move on. Day Date 40 is a watch for a man like Carlos. Okay, sounds like the shopping network. Somebody says it's solid gold, can always be professionally refinished. That's the beauty of Rolex. But here's the thing: you don't have to refinish it, folks. I had my last date, the 18238. I had it for 19 years. It was never refinished. And guess what? It was still gorgeous. The gold holds up fine. The gold this is the dirty little secret that these people don't seem to understand. Everybody listen to me closely. The dirty little secret is that these gold watches, like the one you're seeing on the channel right now, they actually hold up better than the stainless steel watches. The stainless steel watches, the scratches they're a lot more evident. They show up a lot more for some reason. The gold, when it gets little dings and wear and scratches and all, it kind of, just because of the look of gold and the patina that it gets and all, the scratches actually don't really show up. So it's counterintuitive. You would think it would be the opposite. But the gold watch actually looks better as it gets more and more wear and tear, and the steel watch just looks like an old scratched up steel watch. So it's the opposite of what these folks that don't own a solid gold Rolex, even Archie Luxury, who's owned some, maybe he's owned a few, but he didn't wear them every day. He doesn't know how they hold up or don't hold up because he doesn't know. He didn't do it. I did it. Carlos is doing it. And we know these things they hold up fine. Okay, so here's another comment. Bitcoin at 7,700 was a no coiner. Okay, I don't know what you're saying there. Did you buy some at 7,700, or are you still a no coiner, or what are you trying to say there? I'm trying to decipher what you're saying. Okay, we'll go on date 40 is a watch. Okay, I already read that. Let's see. It's a beauty, Carlos. What's the actual color of the dial?
It's the color of the dial is one that is called a silver quadrant motif or something
Okay.
like that.
Okay.
I don't know if it's you can appreciate it, but each of the quadrants have like a sketching on different direction. Each of the quadrants. Some are vertical and some are horizontal.
You got to get a little bit further away so it can focus. It's not. Yeah, there we go. There you go. Okay. Yeah.
And also that gives a kind of texture. And regarding what someone said regarding the complication, honestly, I like this watch because the dial and the bracelet, I am unable to read the day of the week, the
Yeah,
day without
without
glasses.
glasses. I'm the same way. I'm the same way. I wouldn't be able to read it without the glasses.
Yeah.
Now, can you read the time without your glasses?
Yeah.
Okay.
That without any problem.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good.
that's perfect.
Good.
Regarding that part, I don't have any problem about the visibility and readability
Yeah.
of the watch. And remember that I really had that bad feeling with the Daytona. But
Yeah,
not
so
with,
there's a comment in here. Archie had a yellow gold Submariner, owned it for years. Yeah, but he didn't wear it that often. That's the point. And unless you wear them every day in heavy use situations, you really don't know how well these watches hold up. He had it in his collection, and he wore it from time to time, probably. But I don't think he wears those watches on a daily basis and really gives them hard use. I would be shocked. First of all, he never goes anywhere. He's sitting there in front of the computer all the time. So there's that. All right, Carlos is right. Spain has had some extreme climate change. I guess you meant changes. He says chances lately up in the north or wherever. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to wrap things up here pretty soon, folks. We didn't. Hey, nobody said they wanted to see the Brianna jump video. I was surprised they didn't want to see the Brianna jump video. I might play it anyway before we wrap up, just because we want to get her some subscribers, folks. This show is sponsored by Brianna. Today's show is brought to you by Brianna Bree Fit Dance, BreeFitDance.com. All right. Well, Carlos, thank you for calling in. Any other pearls of wisdom before we let you go?
no. No. I subscribe to Brianna channel. Surprising content for me.
Good. Well, just give her wait and see what content she puts out. I mean, she's going to put out some content. We're going to shoot some videos, and hang in there. I think we're going to have some interesting stuff. We're even going to go to the Naval Academy and shoot some things there. They have a noon formation where all the cadets form up for getting ready to go to lunch. And it's really, really a cool, like, formation. And they have, like, the officers have, like, their swords and all that. And, you know, it's the real pomp and pageantry. We're going to go and shoot a video there with Brianna. So there's going to be some fun stuff coming on her channel that I think some people might find interesting. Are the prices going down or no? Somebody asked in the question. I see some signs that, yes, there are some corrections in the market. If I was sitting on a bunch of steel Rolexes, I would certainly sell a few of them right now while you still can. That would be my advice, and that is advice on this channel. This is the President model, correct? Yes. It's actually called the Day-Date 40. It's got the President bracelet on it. I don't think Rolex ever called that watch the President officially. That's an unofficial name. It has always been called the Day-Date. You either have the Day-Date 36 these days or the Day-Date 40, and either one comes with a President bracelet. I think there were times they sold it with a strap. I don't think they ever sold it with a Jubilee. Some people said they did, but I've never seen one with a factory Jubilee bracelet or a factory Oyster bracelet, but maybe they did. You never know with Rolex. Cheetown says, thanks for coming on, Carlos. There you go. Absolutely.
And Craig, as I told or I wrote some time ago, in fact, I was planning to go to Washington on November, but I would be very surprised if I am not going to the area in the next, I would say, 6 to 9 months. Probably by Easter.
Let me know. We're going to have to get together when you do come. We'll have to get together and shoot some nice clips of your watch. We'll get some nice close-ups of your watch and 4K Ultra HD to put up on.
We were very happy for a friend that he's a Spanish military, and he has just been destined as a Spanish military aggregate in Washington, and then we are going to be visiting them.
Very nice.
Sure. Very close friend.
Very, very nice. Okay, well, maybe you can, during that trip sometime, you can schedule a little bit of time and come out to Little Treasury Jewelers, and we can meet there.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll go with Steve. We'll go with Steve. We'll make him take us to lunch. That's how that works.
I will go for sure. I for sure have the curiosity. I really don't have any desire of purchasing a watch and I think that I am set. But
I'll tell you what. Sure. Once you see those Grand Seikos on your wrist, you might have another thought. But okay. Well, thanks for coming on. We're going to let you go.
Okay.
And thank you. And everybody is very pleased that you came on.
Thank you, Craig, and keep the great work.
You made the show. Thanks again.
Okay.
That's Carlos live from Panama. That's how that works, folks. That's how that works. You just call right in on Skype, and we put you right in here on the show. That's not complicated. Not complicated at all. Let's see here. Thanks again for coming on, Carlos. Always enjoy seeing you and your watches. Okay. Well, there you go. Well, folks, let me know if there's any comments, any questions, because we're going to get ready to wrap up. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and play the Bree Jump video for you, just so that we do that. Just for anybody that's watching now that isn't familiar, Brianna is sponsoring this show today, and she has a brand called Brianna Fit Dance. She's going to focus on fitness, beauty. She's going to do some hoop dance. She's going to learn how to do the hoop dancing. She's already learning. And so she's going to do some hoop dancing on the Hooping Live Facebook page and on this channel. So without further ado, we're going to play the, do you like wearing bracelets at the desk? I'm always worried of scratches. Scratches don't bother me. There's scratches all over right here on the bottom. Yeah, you're going to get scratches. Okay, scratches are the way it goes. All right, here we go. Brianna, Bree Fit Dance. Please subscribe to her channel, okay? You go to BreeFitDance.com.
Please help my friend Brianna out by following her
you can go to briefitdance.com, and that's actually pointed right now to her Facebook page. Like her on Facebook. Also, please follow her on Twitter and Instagram at BrieFitDance, and subscribe to her YouTube channel. Thank you for watching. There you go. Let's get it back here where it's kind of hard to stop it somewhere where it's not a little bit blurry, but anyway. All right, there you go. BrieFitDance. If you go to briefitdance.com, that right now goes straight to her YouTube channel, Audrey 2.0. Bree is going to help us with the YouTube, with the Hooping Live channel. As you know, Audrey's taking time off, and we hope she comes back. We hope she makes a comeback. I talk to her often, and she's just, the trolls really got to her, so she's taking time off. So we've got this platform. We've got the Hooping Live show with 10,000 likes, and we've got people on this channel that like the hoop dance and so forth. So we're just going to try to give them some content, and we're going to simultaneously promote her brand so that she can get her brand, briefitdance.com, going. And I think she's going to have fun with it. So, yeah, we're going to help her out a little bit. That's what we do here on the channel. We help people out, and she's a lot of fun to work with. So there's that. I don't work with anybody that's not a lot of fun to work with. Life is too short. If somebody's a pain in the neck to work with, then no, that's not going to happen. Okay, let's see. What else are we saying here? You'll always get scratches desk diving. There you go. I always buy watches with bracelets. It's easier to get a leather strap later than to find a bracelet after purchase. Absolutely get the bracelet. And I just don't find it comfortable wearing watches on straps. I've tried it, and I just don't think it's that cool. Is she taking over from Audrey in the lucrative hoop dance YouTube audience? Tom Austin. I think I just addressed that. She's not really taking over for Audrey. She's going to carry the torch here for a little while until Audrey comes back. Hopefully Audrey will come back. So we all want Audrey to come back, including Brianna. So it's not a competition thing here. It's a, helping out type of thing. And Cheetown says, truly in motion. Yes, Brianna is in motion. Brianna is in motion. All right, folks. Well, thank you for watching. I'm going to go ahead and put in the chat the link. It is in the description also. But let me put it in here. The link to her YouTube channel, which, like I said, briefitdance.com. It points to her channel. Let's see, // there we go, BRIFIT, BrieFitDance, there it is, and .com. So there you go, briefitdance.com. Okay, so that's where you go. Just click on that, and just click subscribe, folks. Just give her a subscribe. You're not going to get the notifications unless you click the bell. So it's no skin off your back to go ahead and subscribe to her channel. We want to try to get her up to 100 subscribers so that we can get a custom URL for her. So we can get youtube.com/briefitdance. So we want to do that. So try to get her up to 100 subs, because that's what they require to get a custom URL. And that'll help out. If every one of you right now that's watching subscribes, that'll help out a lot. There's 61 of you watching right now. So it would help a lot if you all click on that link in the chat and subscribe to her channel. Let me know if there are any other questions. Again, Steve's event is coming up next month. So you definitely want to go to littletreasury.com. The link is in the description of the video to that as well. So go to littletreasury.com and sign up for that event if you can. If you can make it, it is a wonderful watch event. And the food is great. The people are great. We'll be shooting a video there. You want to be in a video, we'll put you in the video. Have a good one, everybody, says Jason. I'm going to wait another minute or so here to see if there are any other questions or comments, and then we're going to wrap this puppy up. So, thank you everybody for watching. Let me see here. What did I just do? Okay, there we go. Just trying to do something there, and that's not working. Okay. I'll just wait another little bit here just in case anybody has any questions. I'm getting some thank yous. No questions yet, so that's good. That's good. Everybody's saying their goodbyes and their thank yous. And I'm not even signed in on my phone. I got to get signed in on the phone. That's a pain in the neck. All this two-factor stuff and authenticator and all this stuff is all kind of a pain. All right, I'm going to shut this puppy down, and we're going to all go get something to eat. Thanks again, everybody, for watching. We switch over to the time real quick, and we're going to say complete event.